Our lives are getting busier, our attention spans are getting smaller, and so attracting people into our sport becomes a bigger and bigger challenge. The major challenge is engagement with younger people when they've got so many other things that they're interested in. We haven't invested enough in our sport as a governing body over the last decade. We have a duty to invest in the sport, but it's only possible if we have the income streams to achieve that. Now, in the past, we've relied purely on license holders to fund that. And quite frankly, the last decade has seen a decline in license holders and a restriction on the amount of funds we've had available to invest in all the important things that we need to do. The officials we need to support, the training programs we need to do, the development of the sport, the promotion of the sport. So all these things need to be addressed now, and a modest increase in our membership costs, but future revenues from alternative income streams are critical to how we're going to build the sport in the future. Before we made any changes whatsoever, we spent a long time listening. This is something that's been logically looked at and planned for over the last couple of years.
Our role is to make motorsport safe, fair and fun. And I think we've done a good job on the safe and the fair, but I'm not sure that we've made it enough fun for enough people. The real role that we need to play as a modern governing body is above and beyond rules and regulations and taking a more positive and proactive role in the promotion of the sport. We also need to invest in things like education and training. If we don't have the very best officials, the very best marshals, and indeed the best competitor pathway, then we're not going to attract people and keep people within the system. We need to consistently work with the clubs on helping them to bring new members into their club structure and into their system. We also need to look at product innovation. We need to invent new forms of motorsport. What do we do with electric vehicles? Where should they sit within our scope of motorsport? All these areas require us to really have a very clear strategy for the future and an investment plan. If we're to embrace this broader role of being the promoter of the sport and to really activate the clubs, to be innovative, to invest in education and training, we need to find a way in which we can generate more revenues. There's an ability to create new properties that we can get sponsors involved with, and we're already seeing the green shoots in that area. We can create new membership tiers. So this year we've created the trackside membership for non-competing fans. We've also gone out to the FIA and looked for opportunities to generate revenue with them. So we're providing consulting services to overseas events. We're also looking at ways in which we can get partnerships with outside brands and companies through our membership scheme. So we launched this last year and it's generating revenues for all of our members. It's generating income that they can offset against their license costs. We should actually make it more accessible for people coming in at the base level. And for that reason, we've decided for 2020 to make all clubman licenses free of charge. We've also changed some of the internal structures within the licenses, recognizing that there are hidden costs in some of the licenses. For a circuit racing license, and you're aged over 45, you have to get an annual medical. That might be £100, £120 every year. We're removing that. You won't need a medical until you're 60 years old. So over 15 years, you might be saving yourself £1,500. Simple things like that, simple initiatives which change the economic model. And through that, we're distributing the way in which we generate revenues and the way that we reward people in what we see as a much fairer way.
We've got a great club infrastructure in this country, over 700 motor clubs. Those clubs, yes, they've perhaps we've lost a little in engagement with them in the recent past. We can re-engage with them. We can re-engage with younger people. We can find ways of building on the great foundations that we've had over many, many years. Now, motorsport will be strong again in this country. I have no doubt about it whatsoever.